Hello, folks. It is me. I'm Biggy, and I'm back. And this is Let's Play Loop Hero. Yes, Loop Hero is an indie title that I've discovered not so long ago from my favorite content creator, Marbuzier. So shout outs to him. Um, I love his Civilization 6 content, and I also love his other lesser known titles. So I've been playing this for a bit and I discovered that it's actually very accessible. I'm going to actually press the skip tutorial and start a new save file. Yep, and we're playing ourselves a little bit of a loop hero. There's a bit of a story here about how there's things that have disappeared from the earth and everything's just slowly, quickly fading into the void. The world will be destroyed. In a place without space, time, or memories. Yep, so there's nothing for us here. Can we build something? Yes, we could build a small campfire with a cozy spot right here. And if you want to have a look here, why this immediately strikes out as an accessible title is because usually the font is pixelated like this, but you could also switch it so that you could have a dyslexia friendly font. There we go. Or high resolution fonts, which one, everyone that you prefer. I prefer the dyslexia font here. So let's just continue for a bit. And let's go ahead and try going on an expedition. As you can see here, we could pick a couple of cards on the side here where which cards we could use for our adventures. We've got cemeteries and groves and vampire mansions and battlefields, road lanterns, and we could turn off some of these cards, which I think I'm going to do because the beacon is a worthless landmark with no direction, plus movement speed, but we don't need that really. And I'm not a fan of spiders, so we're taking out the spider cocoon. Yep, there we go. Let's just confirm that. Or we could just probably pop the spider cocoon back in just so that we have a complete set of stuff. But okay, so we're gonna start. Loop Hero is a an adventure where we don't have a lot to do with our hero. Our hero walks around the loop, and for each loop, he automatically battles things, and we get loot from killing various enemies. We could actually grab the spear over and the shield over as well. What I like about this game, though, is that instead of the usual click to drag things, you could click and drop. And clicking and dropping and clicking and dragging is a whole different issue from from the game being accessible or not. I was actually concerned in the beginning that I won't be able to play this game simply because I won't be able to click and drag for every single time. It's going to be quite a bit of a bother, but having the this available makes it a lot more accessible. Yeah. So as you can see here, we could grab one of these cards down here. One of them is a mountain where we could pop down on any of this old area here. I'm gonna pop it right in the corner because mountains stack as they are placed together for each adjacent rock or mountain. And we have something called a vampire mansion, which we could pop down immediately. A vampire mansion adds a vampire for every battle in the area. Right, and we're getting more loot. As you can see here, we've got equipment with attack, damage, and a skill. As you can see here, usually the base stat of each equipment is listed, and you can also see if it's going to be a better equipment overall. Over here we have a shield with 2 abilities instead of 1. One of them is damage to all and region per sec, but I prefer the magic damage, so I'm just going to keep this shield right here. Yep. Alright, and as we move towards our camp, we will heal as soon as the camp is as soon as this we reach it. I'm going to pop down a couple of things on this side. I think I'll pop a cemetery, pop down another cemetery, pop down a grove in between. Oops, I accidentally clicked off the window. That's fine. Let's put a grove like right here. And as we pass through these areas, they grant us items. Right. This is a weapon with the same stats as before. Let's pop down some mountains. And there's meadows. Meadows will grant you HP at the beginning of each day, but yeah, we're facing off with a vampire now. Hundreds of years of emptiness. Yep. So, yep. You can also press X to skip the dialogue here. Oh, let's have a look at the shield here. We have damage to all and defense. Extra defense is good, but let's just keep the magic damage up here. Alright. Yep. Often own our lands, keep the peace, help our settlements prosper. Yep. So that's a bit of a clue of what we should do with vampires. Give them some land to rule. Alright, so now we have all these rocks here. Let's go ahead and put down a meadow. Meadows become blooming meadows once placed next to another tile. I'm doing this because I want to keep the rocks next to each other. Because rocks and mountains grant us HP for each adjacent rock or mountain. So putting them in a pattern like this will be good. Let's put a grove right after our camp right here. Right, and as you can see, we get healed as soon as we enter the campfire. At the end of every loop, we get an option to leave. It's basically leave with the resources that we've gained for that particular round. But we're not going to leave anytime soon. Yep, we're still doing very well at the moment. Each time you pass through a grove, you gain one little item. I think like a little branch, which stacks up into like a bigger item. Yep. You get things like stable branches, change, rations, and pebbles. Alright. We have a lot of meadows, which is kind of a mixed blessing here. As you can see here, we got a branch as we pass through here. And we get some better gear. A level 3 sword and much better armor. Thing is, do we want to keep the counter? I think at the end of the day, base stats are a little bit more important than skills. Buy a counter for so and so when you could deal damage for or more damage for that particular bit. Oh, okay. So let's see if this is a trade-off for damage. Yep, it's a trade-off for damage, but we get damage to all, defense, and counter. I think we're doing okay with damage at the moment, so let's go ahead and pop you down. Like right there. Weapons with less skills usually have more and or better stats, with the exception for rings, for example. This is just overall better in every way. So let's put the ring down. Vampirism drains us life. More mountains. Let's put this mountain, this bit here. Pop the meadow right here. Let's just continue on our little adventure there. Yep, we're facing a few. Yep. Okay, so this is our first combination here. Popping a mountain on a 9x9 tile turns it into a mountain peak, which has 120 HP, plus 5 additional HP for each adjacent mountain and rock tile, and it does spawn an enemy every few turns, which is less than ideal, but we're okay. We could put down a mountain again, but that will spawn us our first goblin camp. Yep, which is less than ideal, but let's go ahead and pop down you right here and pop maybe a spider cocoon at this location. Yep, let's encounter our first goblin before we use our Oblivion card on it. But we have a road lantern. Road lanterns are quite good. It decreases the maximum number of monsters on adjacent tiles. So let's just pop it down right here so that it doesn't spawn us too many goblins. Alright, this is just better defense, damage overall, and some evasion. So we're trading off magic damage, which is fine. This, we're not trading more HP for defense. That's fine. Okay. Alright, let's put down some more mountains. I'll put this one down here, so we could pop down another meadow right here. You can see there's a meter up here for the day progress. So at the beginning of each day, you get a little bit more progress towards the day. And now we have entered the camp again, and we have an option to leave. We can, but we're going to stay. Still a long way from being in any sort of trouble. Famous last words. Okay, let's pop this down. Right. One other thing that I really enjoy about PC gaming now is that there's an app that I discovered called a... oh, never mind. Let's just put that thought on hold for now, and let's grab ourselves a battlefield. Battlefields spawn treasure at the beginning of each loop, so let's just pop it down where it's nice and... so you can see it. We're not getting... the treasury, which is one of my favorite things to get. Okay, it's beginning of the day. Defense, 15 defense. Wow. I think that's worth skipping the evasion, actually. Yep. 6% evasion is, in the grand scheme of things, isn't magnificent. Right, let's pop down more rocks to grab us a little bit of stats here. Some more vampires that we could slap around. And with this, we're going to use Oblivion on the camp. Let's go ahead and pop down more rocks here. This one over here will do. Another meadow. Why I'm saving up on meadows is that there's actually a card that I want to pop up. Oh, forgot to check on this armor here. Yeah, that's a better max HP, attack speed, and vampirism. You notice that once I hover over this area here, the game pauses, which is useful. Now we're going to pop down a couple more rocks. And if it spawns a spider, then so be it. Not spider, I'm thinking of a goblin camp. Okay, so over here we could pop down a cocoon. Another day begins. And for enemy level affects the amount of equipment found, affects the number of enemies. So let's go ahead and pop down a vampire mansion. Over here is fine. Alright. Come on, game. Give me some more things I could encounter, please. Like the treasury. That's what I wanted. Okay. With each loop, the enemy gets stronger, so we have to be extra careful. But we need to keep an eye out for better equipment. This one, attack speed and counter is these. Well, we get this one is better damage overall. Okay, we're going down quite a bit on defense here. We get increased attack speed and counter. So now our counter's up to 24%. Ooh. That's way down in defense, but they'll grant us a lot of vampirism. I don't think I could say no to this much vampirism, actually. Oh well. Damage, increased damage. Our counter's back down to 16%. So yeah, let's go with magic damage and evasion. That's gonna switch our strategy. Yep. This game you have to really think on the fly on what to do with equipment as soon as they pop in. Like this, for example. Now we're back to using counter, I guess. But look at that. We're getting 7 and 8 health every time we hit an enemy, which is massive. There's another goblin camp that we're going to get rid of. Why we're getting rid of goblin camps is that they spawn almost daily, and they're pretty annoying. Yep, more rocks. Some more equipment, but that's okay. Now we get the treasury, finally. Right, so what the treasury does is that it you can place it on any tile with an empty 3x3 area, like so. I'm gonna go ahead and pop down a rock right here. And we could pop down meadows and other forms of items. So around it, we're getting all the stuff from the treasury. Right. That should keep us frosty for a very long time now. Because currently... Okay, there's a goblin. Stop. Right. Red objection here. Oh, wait, I do have one. How about... Yes. Yep, they're fast attacking, they evade, and they get a buff every time an ally gets killed, and one of their allies get killed. Right. Right, so let's have a look here. So equal damage here, but giving up on 90% counter is a little bit iffy here. The damage to wall is nice. Let's go ahead and pop down a rock here. And try to finish off that treasury as quickly as possible. Oh, okay, that's good. Let's pop down a rock. And boom, we get a couple of more cards immediately. Okay, I'm going to pop down a vampire mansion over here. Now let's see, a cemetery over here. But looking through what's going to happen next is we might not make it for another loop, because enemies are getting stronger, things are getting harder to kill. Let's go ahead and pop down our meadows. And wait, risk versus reward here. Right. I think it is a good time to retreat. And with that retreat, we're back and find survivors. People can't remember anything. Got rations and things. Yep. Yep. This person is Yota. Yep. Let's go ahead and skip the dialogue for a bit because I want to show you more of the gameplay. There we go. And with that, we gain the ability to build. And we have what's called a field kitchen available. Let's go ahead and pop it right here. I forgot to have a read of what it actually does before putting it down. Yep, the field kitchen adds 10% to the campfire's healing power and unlocks the blood grow card. Yes, so let's go ahead and pop the field kitchen right down here. It's one of the only places available. Right. And there's things here which are survivor tents, but we will need to be destroying these or getting rid of these by adding more things to the camp. Alright, I think that's a good cutoff point for one episode of Loop Hero. Overall, just as a short review, this game is quite accessible. There are a couple of things in it that are that could be improved, which I'll probably comment on. There's things like crafting tables and other things that could use a little bit more help, making more accessible. But overall, this game is really easy to play. I've also been playing it using Steam Link. Steam Link, I think, has a really good niche for games like this, which doesn't require a lot of mobility, like resources. But that being said, thanks for joining in. It's me, I'm Biggy, and I'll be back. And if you enjoy this, let me know, and I'll upload some more of this content. Thanks, guys.